I've heard a lot about Oli over the years, Ted, and not all of it is positive. I'm wondering what your relationship with Oli was like.
I never had any problem with Oli, but of course I wasn't around Oli that often.
Okay.
And I don't think Oli had a chance to book me very much, that's for sure. Because like when I was going into Atlanta, he was just leaving.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be shortly after you arrived. I want to say it was going to be around spring or maybe just early 1984. He'd be gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, do you remember if you had a lot of input when you're coming in the doors to the direction of your character or what you're going to be doing, or is it just you show up, they tell you what to do, and that's that?
Well, I mean, and I'll be honest with you. I don't think anybody, I don't care who you were, had a lot of input as to what your character does. I mean, you might have some, like especially when I became the $1 million man, that type of thing. Obviously, there's going to be some input there, and some, but uh, like I just don't remember ever having to have that conversation with anybody about what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. I mean, what I was going to do in terms of who's going to win, who's going to lose, and input on. You can have input on the match, like hey, how about we do the finish this way or that way? But whether you were going to win or you were going to lose was never your choice.
And I work on Arn Anderson's podcast as well, and he says all the time, "I didn't know I could say no." Somebody would just tell him to do something, he'd say,
Yeah,
"Well, that's," even if it was bad, he'd think to himself like, "Well, that sucks, but I'm just gonna
yeah,
go give it my
uh,
best."
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean, well, and that's just it. It's like, okay, if you don't want to do what I tell you, there's the door.
back in the day when the
Uh-huh.
promoters had all the leverage, right?
That's right.
Well,
All the language.
all the leverage.